This group does not at all agree with my vision of an American society, and various possible responses were available. And of the people in this group who were given this statement, these are the percentage who agreed with it relative to various groups. 7.6% of Americans said that Jews do not at all agree with their vision of an American society. 12.5% recent immigrants. 13.5% conservative Christians. 20% thought Hispanics did not agree with their vision of U.S. society. Homosexuals. 22.6% Muslims. 26.3%. And capping in the peak of the Himalayas, atheists at almost 40%.
Says, I'm new to being a true Christian, and my fiance of 4 years has been with me through every step of my journey, but he hasn't always agreed with me because he's an atheist. What I think we need is a good middle ground. How do you think we can interact with each other peacefully when it comes to spiritual matters?
Ronnie, I hate to tell you this, and I'm sure this is a nice guy, and you like him a lot, but the Bible says, what fellowship has Christ with Belial? There is no fellowship between an atheist and somebody who's a believer in God. I don't know what kind of relationship you've got, whether you're getting intimate with one another, or whether you're just moving toward marriage, or what you plan, but I hate to tell you, you've got to go find somebody else.
You know, let them make fools of themselves in the public square and say a prayer for them.
Yeah, but Michelle, if you let them do that, then over time they will have the control. That's my point. If you don't stand up and fight for it, it might just disappear. I'm talking about Christianity.
Yeah, that's true. But I think there's also, you know, an alternate view, which is you treat these people like trolls.
So do you think atheists should keep their religious beliefs secret?
They don't have any religious. What's their
beliefs, period, secret.
What is their belief? What does an atheist believe? Nothing, right? I think this is such a ridiculous story.
For his child, the child doesn't know what's going on, to try and get under God taken out of the Pledge of Allegiance. They are on the attack, and it's obnoxious, and they do need to shut up.
Nicole says once she said she was an atheist.
Your relationship with the other kids changed.
Yeah. Sorry to talk about it.
It's all right. I remember till I could cry. And I don't like that. It's just
Students called her names, she says.
You know, they would call me devil worshiper. I'd walk down halls, people would laugh at me. They would look at me really weird and stare me down.
Then she says teachers joined in.
What would they say?
This is a Christian country, and if you don't like it, get out.
When the kids hear a teacher say when she goes to the bathroom, I hate that girl, what are you telling the kids at the school? That's a gang, man. Religious gang.
I was scared. I was beyond upset. I have never experienced such anger and hatred.
This couple, we're calling them John and Jane Smith, are so afraid they asked us not to identify them. 2 years ago, they say the small Mississippi town where they lived turned against them after they complained to the principal of their son's public elementary school about class time devoted to Bible study and prayer.
We were like pariahs. Nobody would speak to us. Nobody would let their children play with my son.
The Smith story made local headlines when it was revealed that they were atheists, and soon after, tensions at the school escalated.
We were absolutely isolated. People would drive by the house, park in front of our house, and stare like we were in a zoo.
Eventually, they left town altogether.
Seems like a nice place to live. We've got a nice place to raise them. And
while some atheists try to hide their secular views, Gene and Mike Rice are atheists who've spoken out.
As an atheist, I'm the last minority that it's okay to really bash or put down.
The Rices say they've frequently encountered intolerance.
We're regularly told that we're going to hell, that we're sending our children to hell.
In the last town they lived, Jean Rice says soon after confiding her atheism to a friend, her landlord told the Rices they would have to move.
Within a few days of my telling her that we are atheists, I started hearing from other people, "Oh, are you atheist?" And it was quite shocking. And within a few weeks, our landlord gave us notice.
A recent study by the University of Minnesota found that atheists are the least trusted minority group in the United States and are less accepted than other marginalized groups, including Muslims and homosexuals.
You say in the book that you wouldn't go out with a woman. I guess a woman should not go out with a man who doesn't believe in God.
No, I mean, why would you?
Well, do you believe that only people who are religious are ethical and moral?
No, I just believe if you don't believe in God, then where's your moral barometer? That's just me talking.
I understand.
You can believe what you want to believe,
yeah.
But if you're an atheist, you're basing your goodness and morality on what? I mean, but what is an atheist? I don't really get into that. You know, when I've talked to people all the time, I'm an atheist. I just walk away. I don't know what to say to you. You know,
well, an atheist is someone who doesn't quite believe that there is somebody out there, some God out there.
Well, then to me, you're an idiot.
Believers view atheists as untrustworthy, as rapists, incredibly, Lewis. This is an unbelievable new study done by Gallup, and we always trust Gallup, Lewis, that religious people distrust the world's estimated 500 million atheists as much as they distrust rapists. It's incredible.
Yeah, look, I'm friendly with a number of atheists, and some of them are awfully good company, pleasure to sit down and have a beer with. But I tell them directly, I do believe that atheists are parasites, in the sense they're benefiting from everything that religious culture has built in America, but they're doing nothing to add energy into the system.
I have a lot of atheist friends, and they really suffer their atheism, I would say. In other words, they suffer the fact that they don't believe, because they know that the world makes a whole lot more sense if God does exist. But these, on the other hand, people like Richard Dawkins, are not these people who are suffering their atheism. They're pushing their ideas on the general public and saying, we who do believe are silly, we have no common sense, and they are the only elite who know what they're talking about.
The American Cancer Society turned down a $500,000 donation from an atheist group known as the Foundation Beyond Belief. It's not just an atheist group. They're made up of non-believers, I would say. It's a secular group. And they wanted to basically donate some money to the American Cancer Society and do it as part of the Relay for Life program. Mm-hmm. And, you know, initially the American Cancer Society was all for it, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we don't want to name you guys in the ballot. Like, they have like a program that names all the donors. Mm-hmm. They're like, so sorry, we're not going to take the money. But they didn't give a reason as to why they didn't want to work with this organization, right? So, I mean, you can only assume that the reason why they don't want to work with the organization is because it's an atheist, or I should say secular organization.
Right. Moderating that debate in our Washington studio was one of the most challenging yet rewarding things I've ever done in my broadcasting career. Two highly articulate, intelligent men really getting at the core of life's issues. What stuck out to all of us who on the crew, and me included, was how at peace Douglas Wilson was and what a man of joy he was versus, frankly, Christopher Hitchens was a cranky, impatient, and sad human being.